Hi, and welcome to the ODO Power Brokers program. My name is Robert Gorby, the Chief Commercial Officer with ODO. I'm delighted to say that today I'm joined by Andrea Clegg Auriga Advocates, a road traffic offence solicitor. Andrea, thanks for joining the program. Great to have you on board.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Can you just explain why a company should really be proactively managing their fleet compliance?
Let's start with driver licence checking. As you saw from the figures on offending, there are over 16,000 people driving out there without a licence. And that is only those that are prosecuted. There will be quite a lot who have gone under the radar. In 2019, 33 new drivers had their licence revoked every single day. And drivers are disqualified if they've got over 12 points, and there are thousands of those in any one year. So there's a marked increase in revocation of licence and disqualification. If you don't keep regular checks as to what the state is on a driver's driving record, you're not going to know whether that driver has cut points. So if you just take a copy of the licence once a year, yes, it might tick a box, but you're not being given the proper information to be able to manage, for example, insurance, because if they haven't got licenses or they're not driving in accordance with the licence, even drivers who often get 6 points because insurance companies will require notification of that. And if the driver is qualified or licence revoked, that insurance will not be valid. And any subsequent claims would have to come directly against the company. And the only way to manage that is by having regular record checks with the DVLA, which of course ODO provides automatically. It's definitely the easiest way to check that. One survey showed that only 1 out of 10 drivers who drive as part of their work would actually tell their employers when they got points. So you can't rely on your employees to give you the information because they're working on the basis, I might lose my job. So they're working on self-interest. Under health and safety at work legislation, you're required to make a written risk assessment of how your business activities can impact on these and others. If you've got nothing in place, then you're in breach of that straight away. If anything happens and you're prosecuted, then there's going to be issues. I mean, the breach of those regulations, the starting point for a very small company is £250,000 fine. You start getting to a medium company, it's £1.5 million. These are massive fines, and the costs are also in the hundreds of thousands. But there's also individual liability, which is what directors and managers need to think about. Because if they're in breach, there could be a very low fine, up to 2 years imprisonment. So if you're doing nothing, or you've just got a policy to tick a box and you're not actively supervising that, or you haven't got the procedures in place to back that policy up, then you're going to be at those higher culpability levels, which are hundreds of thousands of pounds for the company and potential custody for the driver. I mean, the recent case of Renowned Consultants, which I'm sure quite a lot of people have read about in Fleet News, they received penalties and costs £750,000.
Wow, yeah.
And that involved a fatality.
I mean, it's such a significant impact, not only on the people and the business as well, but
yeah, and
attention to.
Occupational driving is the biggest cause of workplace deaths, and yet it's one of the areas that is the least managed. I mean, over 79% of companies didn't realise that they needed to be managing this driving risk. So, I mean, surveys show 65% of all company vehicles will be involved in an incident in the next 12 months. 86% will be involved in a collision in the next 12 months.
Some unbelievable statistics. So
Yeah.
the importance then of really proactively managing your compliance and managing your fleet.
Exactly.
Andrea, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been a fascinating insights and fascinating stats, some very interesting points raised there. So thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.